Hello, and welcome to another 90-day recap video from me, Ginger Queen. I just wanted to give you guys a quick little update. So, I'm trying a different method of recording videos, and I figured I would try this method rather than the strawberry filter. Please let me know in the comments which you like better, the strawberry filter or me just using photos from the episode. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the episode, guys. We're on episode 6 now, and I thought it was quite good. I really liked the scenes between Nicole and Mahmoud, and I mean, Ed and Liz. I mean, it's hard to give an opinion when it's just the same thing, repetitive over and over again. Anyways, before I get into too much detail, this is a recap of episode 6. It's called Itsy Bitsy Liar, and we are going to start off with Nicole and Mahmoud. So we are back with at Nicole's apartment after Mahmoud walked off when Nicole's friends asked him why he keeps, saying he wants to divorce. Nicole's male friend Julian talks to Muhammad. He walks off and talks with him and tries to tell him to be patient with Nicole, but Mahmoud is embarrassed and he has every right to be embarrassed. She cursed him out in front of her friends and it was just awful. She was swearing at him, calling him a liar. It, it, it was just ridiculous. She put on a whole scene, and I can kind of understand why Mahmoud would be embarrassed, why he would want to hide and just like go. Like, why should he deal with this lady that's doing this in America? Sure, that's his wife, but again, he's only been there 2 days. They both need to kind of get used to each other again, and he needs to learn the American culture and get used to it, and he can't do that in 2 days, Nicole. Anyways, that's just my opinion. Back to the recap of the episode. He tells Mahmoud about his wife Olga from Ukraine. Julian does, and how he had to change for her and vice versa. They had to, you know, compromise for each other's cultures and cultural differences. And he explained to Mahmoud how Nicole will have to do that, for him, and he would have to do that for her. Julian goes back inside, and Nicole asks if he's okay. He says he is, and he had a good little conversation with Mahmoud, and that they both need a lot of time. So while Julian is in, I think, the other room, I believe the kitchen, when he's saying this to Nicole and her friends, Mahmoud is in the bedroom and he's getting his suitcase out, he's getting his stuff together. He is gonna get out of there, like he's been saying. And Nicole, when she notices this, she starts freaking out. She is upset. She yells at him to get the fuck out of her house, even though, hey, that's what he's already doing. And Julian's right in the middle of an interview with the cameras as all this is going on, and he stays silent while all this is happening in the background. They argue, and while Mahmoud is still packing, and Nicole asks Julian for some help. So he tries to continue to ask Mahmoud to stay. He says, "No, you don't really have to do that. Like, just like go take a walk. Go take a walk." He even says the balcony is fine, but Mahmoud goes right out the front door and onto the street, and Julian follows him. Uh, we leave off the episode that way, and it's next week's preview. We see that He's continuing to follow him down the street, kind of like how Nicole did. Believe it was episode 2 with Mahmoud. At this point, I think Mahmoud is pretty much done. I think he's ready to go back to Egypt. It's just been really intense for 2 days, I believe, in my opinion. But I would like to know what you guys also think as well. Anyways, on to the next couple. Next, we have Emily and Kobe. They are out to eat at a restaurant, and Emily brings up how Kobe's friends told her that they have doubts about the relationship and that they will be together and be happy. Emily doesn't want Kobe's friends at the wedding, but Kobe says there is absolutely no way his friends will not be there. They begin to argue, and Emily asks, "Are you going to invite the ex too? Is she coming?" Um, she says it like a little spoiled princessy tone. I mean, she was kind of snappy with it. I understand that she would be hurt that Kobe's friends even mentioned that, hey, he had a girlfriend in Cameroon while you two were in China together, and Emily was to believe that he was single. But I mean, the way that she's giving the attitude towards Kobe, like, at least give him a chance, at least talk to him first and then let him explain himself. And if he's guilty, give him the toot after. But I mean, give the guy a chance. Especially Kobe's a nice guy. Anyways, uh, she told Kobe what his friends had said, and you know how Kobe had a girlfriend waiting for him back in Cameroon, as I said. Kobe thought it was all absurd. He said it was untrue. He said that he did not have a girlfriend back in Cameroon. And when he told Emily when they had met in China that he was single, that was the truth. Emily wants to call up Kobe's ex and get her side of it. Kobe is not impressed. And then we see them the next day going as a whole family with Emily's parents to meet up with a girl. I believe her name is Val. Yes, Val. And they are going to an amusement park. Val was Kobe's roommate in China, so Emily knows her. They're good friends, and her and Kobe are obviously friends, and she's got a little one. And yeah, so they all go and meet up, and Emily kind of wants to get Val's advice about Kobe's friends and what has been going on. Emily and Val go off and to talk by their own, and Emily brings up the situation with Kobe's friends, and Val suggests that Emily ease up on the bossiness a bit just because of the culture and how Kobe was brought up and how it reflects on her when she's in Cameroon. That, the bossiness isn't really good. And Emily agrees. She thinks she could ease up a bit too on, being so bossy. Um, Val also suggests that she should get together with Kobe's friends so that they can get to know her better and they don't perceive her as this bossy white lady from America that is going to make Kobe unhappy. So they all go out, Emily, Kobe, and Kobe's friends, to a nightclub. Although they are used to, oh, like if a woman or a wife of someone's were to invite them out as a male, they are used to going to the home and having a home cooked meal, having something to eat. Uh, they were saying this to Emily, and they were saying that because she did not do this and because she took them out to a nightclub, that it reflects poorly on her as a woman and as Kobe's wife, and it isn't a very good grade. They said that if they were to grade her, they would give her a bad grade because it is unacceptable and it's kind of looked down upon to invite your husband's friends out to the club. It's more acceptable to do, as I just said, like have them invite them over for a meal in your home. And Emily explained that she would do that, but she's on vacation. She doesn't have the amenities like she would at home to invite people over and have a home cooked meal. Um, they were arguing about this. They thought that, you're in a hotel room with a kitchen, and they just could not understand why uh she could not do this. And they were also saying that it reflected bad on Kobe. In confessionals, we see that Kobe says that he feels caught in the middle because he says his friends need to understand that he married an American and that she is trying to adapt to their culture. Emily is still continuing to argue with these guys and she gets frustrated, so she just gets up and she walks away. And that is how we leave Emily and Kobe at the end of this episode. Catching up with Ed and Liz, Ed broke up with Liz again for the 15th time. They got in a fight in front of Ed's family, specifically Ed's sister. They made taco pasta, and Riley's was too spicy for her. And Ed told her to stop being a baby. Liz then called Ed out on it, as she should, stand up for your child. After that, they got into, a huge fight. After that, they go to bed. Liz wakes up. Ed's gone. He canceled the wedding without telling her. She found out through the officiant. The officiant texted her and said, "I'm sorry, about the cancellation of your wedding." And that's how she found out that Ed had broken up with her for the 15th time. Like I said, super repetitive. It was a little funny because it's the 15th time. Like, as we see in real time, Liz has a new man, which good on her. She's moved on. She's happy. 15 times, girl. That's a lot. But you're moved on now, so that's good. That's good. Anyways, back to the recap. So Ed is staying with his sister, and they are discussing his side of what happened. And he claims that Liz and came at him sideways. They both said how she just wouldn't stop. Like she just kept going on and on and on. Ed said that he was embarrassed and that things won't change between them. He feels like it's time to move on. He just wants to move on because it's just a repetitive cycle. And if you're going to break up with someone for 15 times, I must agree. uh, Ed's sister asked, how did Liz react with everything? And Ed tells her that he hasn't even told her yet. And then Ed's sister is all like, oh, which, yeah, oh, like, I'm sorry. I know you're on camera. I know you don't want to embarrass your brother, but that's all you have to say is just, oh. Like, Liz is at least a text. I mean, I wouldn't condone breaking up through text, but I mean, she didn't even get that. The officiant told her. So what Ed is doing is very, very cowardly, in my opinion. Ed said the sooner that they have the conversation, the sooner they can move on, which I agree, Ed. And we see in next the preview of next week's episode that he finally does have a conversation or tries to have a conversation, and it looks like it ends badly. But at this point, we both know that Ed and Liz have both moved on. Um, Liz for sure with her new boyfriend, and I really hope that they're happy. I wish them all the best, and hopefully they can move on and put this behind them. And like I said, it seems like Liz already has. So we see that Sophie has moved back in with Rob, and Rob has made her breakfast in bed, and he presents her with her wedding ring, which she thought that she had lost. Sophie says it's not her ring after, looking it over. And Rob says, "Oh, no, it is. It is." So she finally gives in, and, where it's been so long since she's seen it, she's like, "Okay, well, it must be my ring." So in confessionals, though, we were asked, or Rob was asked about that, and he's admitted that he wouldn't say anything if it wasn't her ring, because he himself doesn't know if it's really her ring or not. So he's just keeping his mouth shut. Good job, Rob, at moving forward with lies. Good job. Sophie, even though she doesn't like spiders, later on in the day, she's going to try to make an effort to interact with them for Rob since he's showing an effort in their marriage. Sophie says they bonded over the love of animals, but she doesn't really like, the spiders and the creepy crawlies where Rob really does. She finally pets his tarantula and they have a happy moment together, which is really nice. Rob puts his wedding ring back on because he had taken it off because he didn't feel like a married person. He puts it back on because he feels like things are going well. We see that after this, Sophie goes to hang out with Kay. And Kay asks how has everything been since moving back in with Rob. And Sophie says it's been better. It's been going like real good. Kay has brought up Sophie's sex life and asked if that got better. Sophie says it's been 6 months since they've had sex. She explains to us that she's embarrassed to tell people about her non existent sex life because she thought that married people would be doing it a lot more, and that's what she thought that she would be doing. She says that marriage hasn't been what she had pictured it to be, and that Rob needs to have her consistently dress up for him in order to have some kind of arousal. Kay asks if she'd be with a woman. She says she thought about it when she was mad at Rob. Although she says physically with a woman, she's never dated one. So she's only been with one physically. I don't believe that she has told Rob this. Um, I think when she first told him that she just said, "Oh no, like I haven't been with one. I was just thinking about it." But here we find out, no, she's actually been with one. So that's not really good on her behalf either, moving forward with lies as well. Kay suggests that they both should go to like a marriage counseling, like a therapy. And Sophie has said that she thinks Rob needs therapy, although she does not think that she does. And Kay explains that they both need it, which I think that they do too, in my opinion. And Sophie thinks it's a good idea, although she's hesitant. Next, we see Patrick and Thais, and they are packing up to head to Brazil, and they explain to us that John will be coming a day later. Thais' dad wants to talk to Patrick. Thais says it's important to get the blessing and that she just wants everybody to get along and everything to go well. Um, She wants things to go well with her dad. She does not want John to be a wild card at all. And then it shows that they finally land in Brazil. They get a car and Patrick drives, and Thais the whole time was telling him that she should be driving because she knows how to drive there, and where Patrick's dad lives there. Patrick's been there to see him, off and on a few times. He has an apartment there that he rents from his father. He's like, no, I know how to drive. I'm going to drive. Thais is yelling about the stop signs, and Patrick said that they act as yields in Brazil. Um, there was an awkward moment when Patrick says hello to Thais's dad, and he says hello, dot, 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 awkward silence, little bastard, as if Patrick doesn't understand what he's saying. He totally understood. Thais is upset because they agreed to have at least the first night alone together so that they could catch up on sleep since they were traveling so much. And her dad wanted to come and see the baby right away, but she said no tomorrow. And then Patrick's dad shows up because Patrick couldn't tell him no, and it causes issues for them. I feel like it's similar to when Patrick can't say no to John, and it causes issues for them. I feel like Patrick is a little bit of a people pleaser. Like Thais said straightforward to her father, like, no, like, tonight's not good. We're going to catch up on sleep tomorrow. Patrick doesn't really say that to his family, and I understand that his family is like all over the place and they're not always together, and his family, from what he says, is small. But when you're married, you kind of have to respect each other in that sort of way, and he needs to learn to put Thais's feelings into consideration and sometimes saying no to his family. The last couple to recap is Lauren and Alexi, and they've had a long, long history on 90 Day Fiance, including a spinoff of their own, and now they're back on Happily Ever After. They are celebrating Ari's, their third child's first birthday. Alexi's dad is there for the birthday and to help Alex when Lauren is going to have her mommy makeover since they are done having kids. She's getting a tummy tuck, 360, and getting her fat transferred to her boobs. She says that she has body dysmorphia and really wants to have this done. Her mother and her friends disagree and say that she looks great for having three kids, and I must agree myself because I have three kids myself, and Lauren looks to me a lot skinnier than myself. So I think that she looks great. Lauren's mom, after the birthday party, is helping Alexi pack up and asks his opinion on Lauren's surgery. He says he doesn't know how to feel, but says he'll support his wife either way. But the more that Lauren's mom is talking to Alexi about it, it's giving him second thoughts. And he wants to go and talk to Lauren again about the whole surgery and just seeing, how risky it is. And that's the end of my recap. What did you guys think of this episode? Um, I really liked it. The two couples I didn't really care for or thought was meh. Like I could do either way was Patrick and Thais and Lauren and Alexi. But I enjoyed seeing Rob and Sophie, and I enjoyed seeing Mahmoud and Nicole, excuse me. Um yeah, like even though those situations, Rob and Sophie not so much, but certainly with Nicole and Mahmoud, it was like more aggressive type of situation. I just found that those couples were more entertaining. What's your thoughts? I would love to hear them. Please leave them in the comments below. And I thank you for watching this all the way to the end. I really appreciate it. Thank you for supporting me. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next recap.